Check.
Check. 1, 2.
Check.
How's your
my gainers are pretty good.
How's your earphones there?
Mine are good.
Okay, Oscar.
Mine sound nearly perfect.
You want them up a little bit or not?
Nope, they're fantastic.
Okay.
Check.
Test.
Is all this really necessary?
Yeah. It's important.
Check 1, 2. Test. Check 1, 2.
Check. Am I supposed to be saying that too?
No, I'm just testing the
okay, I wasn't sure.
levels here.
Jeez. You show up late and you're out of control.
I rode for miles and miles, baby. I rode through lightning and rain. They're gonna miss their daddy. Someday I have to explain. Someday. Late at night when the sun goes down, riding across the plains. I'm going past the Badlands.
Badlands, LD.
That's where spirits remain.
I wrote that.
Take the ride to Sturgis, Louisiana. They're coming from Maine.
All right, boys, what do you say we get this thing started?
Let's do it.
Hey, Bikeaholics and listeners alike, the show is still going strong because of a lot of hard work and your support, of course. Thanks to all those loyal listeners and true friends of the show that have supported us or are supporting us. For less than a coffee a month, you can help support us too and put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank to make sure this show keeps moving on down the road. So, calling all Law Abiding Bikers, head over to our Patreon page and take action today. You can do so at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patreon. Oh, did I mention there's benefits too? From all your friends at lawabidingbiker.com, we appreciate each and every one of you. God bless and ride safe. Oh yeah, let's do this thing. All right, it might be your first time tuning into the Law Abiding Biker Podcast. This is the podcast for the motorcycle majority, the big MM, also known as the
Motorcycle majority.
No.
99%.
Thank you. Oh,
It's the same thing.
That's number one. And we haven't even got through the opener. Haven't even got through the opener.
You should probably wear your motorcycle helmet all the time.
Oh, wow. I'm a train wreck today.
Oh, God, guys. Large. That's how this episode's going to go. That's just a way to start it. Large and in charge of the motorcycle scene. It is what we call a biker revolution, bitches, so jump on board. Got to ask you one question, though. What are you waiting for, Bikeaholics? Mount up. Let us take in another wild-ass ride. That's right, Ryan Erlacher here, your host of the Law Abiding Biker Podcast, and your Oscar. Don't fail.
No. It's his turn.
I had to come in on the last one. High-tech redneck.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. And that is, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, LD. Did you play this song this year at Sturgis?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. And of course, we got LD in the house for our episode here. And then, of course, we got Oscar. And I don't even have your song queued up, dude, because I lost some stuff off my soundboard recently.
It's good, though. I can hum it.
No,
that's fine.
We should have it, but I got to put it back on the soundboard. All right, guys.
I already sang once.
We are live. We got some issues there, hopefully ironed out. Yeah, if you guys want to hit the live experience, we strongly encourage you to do that. You can head over to lawabidingbiker.com/live. I sent out an email. Guys, we have a couple email lists. Of course, the regular email club, lawabidingbiker.com/email club. I want to remind everybody that the only way to get notifications when we have live shows, they go directly to your email with a button where you can hit it and come directly and listen live on those dates, is to sign up on the live page. Upper right-hand corner, there's an email sign-up list. That's the only thing you will get by signing up to that list is updates when we will be live again with that simple button. So lawabidingbiker.com/live, and encourage you to experience it. You can chat with us. We're in the chat room, and we get a lot of interaction and whatnot. It's a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, get on that list, and also get signed up on that email list. So, all right. So today's episode, the opening song, I want to give appropriate credit. That was a fun song, a Sturgis song. It's by Zwarte, and album is called Hit the Road. A little gem we found, and we like to share music with you guys that we discover and get it out there in the hands of the law-abiding biker community. In the show notes, lawabidingbiker.com/ and whatever episode number this is, I will have an iTunes affiliate link that'll take you directly to the song if you enjoyed it and you want to hear the rest of it and you want to purchase it. So, all right, this show is being brought to you by the following patrons, guys. Do you want to handle this, Oscar?
Yep, Jeff Simpson of Fort Vermilion, Alberta, Canada. He's a top tier. Steve Plummer of Louisville, Kentucky is top tier, and Chuck, is it Halaboner?
That's how I'd say it.
Is that like 8-point font of Colorado? So Chuck Halaboner of Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Shout out Colorado. Shout out top tier donators. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, fellers.
Yes, you guys do support the show, and we appreciate it so much. We're going to talk about some patrons in this episode. They took action, guys. They got involved. They want to help support the Law Abiding Biker Podcast so more bikers around the world can have access to it, and we can keep taking this show down the road. Of course, a couple of them there are top tier. There are different benefits depending on which level you sign up as. No risk to you. You can pledge a certain amount per piece of content and put a cap on it. All right. Thank you. And they are the reason that you guys are getting this episode, really. They're basically sponsors of the Law Abiding Biker Podcast, and we appreciate them so very much, and had a meetup. So we're going to do this live episode, guys. We're going to do this in 2 parts. For all you listening live out there, we're going to do a first hour live, or first hour or so. Of course, if you're listening to this afterwards in podcast format, of course you will get it. And it's going to be so much content that there's no way we can stuff it all into one. So we will be doing a part 2. So there'll be a part 1 of this podcast and a part 2. And it's everything. And again, LD and Oscar are going to be in the studio for both those episodes, and myself, of course. There's a lot to talk about with our Sturgis trip. And so we're going to give you hits, tips, tricks, things we learned, things we liked, things we didn't like, things to see, things to ride. Yeah.
Are we going to digress today?
Always do.
Right. And I'm sure there'll be tangents.
No. Okay.
I just suspect.
All
right. So LD, you want to start out and just dates that we went and kind of who, because we're going to talk about people's names in here. So I want to get up front who the characters are, the real live people. But so people are like, who the hell's that?
Weave us a story.
We need to talk about each character to build their character.
It's called character development in the literary world.
Yep, character development.
I'm going to let you do that.
We left on Thursday, July 30th, and attending were your host, Ryan Erlacher, and he rides a
2014 Street Glide Special.
Okay. And then me, LD, and I ride a 2012 Street Glide. And then Oscar went, and his wife went along as well, and he rides a
2013 Ultra Limited.
And then Chewy went, Dustin, and he rides a 2013
Street Glide.
13, okay. Jake Justice went, and he rides a 2014
Street Glide Special.
And then Popeye went, and he rides a 2012 Street Glide. Jeff went, and he went along with his wife, went with him, and he rides a 2012 Ultra
Screaming Eagle.
And then Mike Baker went, and he rides a 2000,
10 Road Glide.
It's a Road Glide, I know that.
Yeah.
And then a guy named Mark, who we'll call Skins, went, and Skins rides a Street Glide. I don't know what year.
It's 2012 or 11. I can't remember.
Okay. And then John, who we're going to call Indian John, because 1, he's Indian, and 2, he rides an Indian.
That's what I call him.
What was his favorite phrase? What did he say?
I'm an Indian riding an Indian.
No. I'm just a savage riding an Indian.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Indian John. That's what I named him, dude.
Yeah, I like that. I like it.
Here, Oscar, we have to play it.
Oh, I love trash.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
There you go. That's for Oscar.
Anything ragged or rotten or rusty.
right, enough of that noise.
Did you get Baker's wife in there?
She
went too.
Yes.
Yeah, it says Baker's wife. Oh, if I didn't say his wife, she is on the note, sir.
Okay.
So we had 3 wives, Oscar, Baker, and Jeff's.
Yeah, we're not the wives, but our wives went.
Right.
Correct.
And so, yeah, that's the players. And so you'll hear us referring to them. July 30th through August 9th is when we went. How many days? 9, 10, 11, basically.
Yeah, it was about, I think, 10, but there were some different guys leaving at different times depending on childcare and work and things like that. And then
True that.
some of us did a separate ride at the end. And
Okay.
so
let's just start out and we'll kind of go through day by day some of the stuff that went on. And then, of course, any tips or tricks that you have for people. I will tell you, my first time to Sturgis was this year. I've been riding for a long time, but I always wanted to go, but had never made the trip. And so we went into it very prepared, and LD prepared us. Had a lot of ride planning changes over time but we got it squared away. You had never been, Oscar had never been. In fact, the only people I think is Jeff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff from up north, and Jeff is the president or the vice president of the Sworn Few up north in the Wenatchee area.
and this was his 7th time, I believe.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
go all the time.
Crazy.
Goes almost every year. So
Yeah, and I think he's committed to going next year. We'll talk about that, which is interesting. All right, so day 1, we meet up at LD's house, and this is July 30th, right?
Yep.
And this is when we're trying to get to Missoula, right?
Right. And so we have 425 miles to go. So I'm on the let's get on the bikes and let's get going plan. And some people like to screw around.
This is the plan LD's on. Constantly. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
That is accurate. And we have some people, maybe Ryan Urlacher, your host, who likes to fiddle fart around all day long.
Did you get a beer, by the way?
No.
Do you want one?
No,
Here.
I'm good. No, I'm good.
Oh, I have one. Okay. All right.
So, right off the get-go, back to the other notes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Ryan
dude.
walks up to Lee and I, and for some reason, I don't know what. Well, I have the GPS. I was the only one with the GPS for a while, so I always end up leading. It's just kind of how.
In past years, except the past 2, I have one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is our 3rd trip, and I always, for some reason, am out front. Well, Lee and I were roommates, Popeye in the academy, so he always rides next to me for whatever reason. So we always lead, which I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but
Well,
It's neither here nor there at this
negotiable.
point.
yeah. So Ryan walks up first thing and says, "So we're stopping for gas on the way out?"
Dude. And it was like just one big button, the both of you, and it was just waiting to be pushed. And I was like, where are we stopping for gas? And LD's face dropped, dude, and Popeye, and I knew that they were going to blow up.
Let's go back to 2 years ago trip.
See, okay, I'm saying we did a lot better this year than 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago we had a guy ride with us that didn't come this year. He shows up at a 1:00 meetup and says, "I'm starving. We need to stop and eat." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" No, I need to stop and eat. I said, "Let's go grab a corn dog." I need to sit down somewhere and eat.
Is this Mario?
Yes, I'm like
Mario.
No, but in all fairness, we were already 2 hours behind.
Yeah, in all fairness. So
That's right, dude.
on that trip, we did not make it to any destination prior to 10:00 at night. So we go 30 minutes down the road and stop and eat.
This year was a big improvement. A big improvement.
Well, yeah, I think we had some. Well, 1, Ryan didn't have his enabler with him, Lurch. And 2, we had some wives.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't have my enabler. I did have gas, by the way, but I just wanted to say it. And I think Popeye's, I forget what his response was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, and I was like, I didn't even let it go long. I was just like, got you good on that one. So yeah, I got things started off right. All right, what next, LD?
And I'm not sure on that second one. Where was that
dude. So yeah. So me and Skins, dude, and you weren't quite paying attention to it because you were always obviously leading. And so you were in the gas pump. So it was like that day we hit, 3 different gas stations. And I swear to God, dude, at that one gas station before Lolo Pass, and it's like 105 degrees out, dude.
Oh,
and
I
we're
know
all
exactly what you were talking about.
In Lewiston.
This was
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're sitting there, dude, and this not one jackass. This happened the whole trip, but not one jackass, but 2 jackasses, dude, fill up their cars, and they freaking leave. And we're like parked, like with our motorcycles, just the heat coming off them. We're dripping sweat.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like right behind them. Like I want to get gas. These jackasses, dude, both of them looked right at us, and they went in the store and they bought their shit.
No.
And leaving their car, blocking the pump when you have lines of bikes, dude.
I remember that. That was right before we went up over Lola. We were already, that was by in Orofino. I remember that. Yeah.
Is that okay? Is that what it was, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Oh my God, dude. I was just so freaking mad. And literally the guy comes out and I'm like, I pulled in on purpose behind his car and he had this much room. I'm giving visuals and this is a podcast, but very little room. And I nosed in between his car and the pump and stretched the hose out over his trunk so that I could, and he comes out and he just looks and still no, like, bro, I'm sorry. Just completely effing oblivious. And this is what I told Skins. There's people that do that to be jackasses. And if you want to be a jackass, I get it. At least I understand that you know what you're doing. These people are so oblivious that they don't even get it. He wasn't doing it to be a jerk. He's just a fucking idiot. Like clueless. And even with the, me with the thing over his trunk, and so he just looks and he's, hi, gives a little wave and gets in his car with his little, Kit Kats and his Kit Kat and his little soda, on the way down the road, just freaking clueless, dude. So yeah. And that seemed to be kind of happened to me in Skins more than once. And it always when it was 105 degrees.
Lewiston, I think, topped out at 106 that day.
Is that what it was?
I think that's the hottest.
Dang, dude. Hot.
I'd never seen our bikes have a little ambient air gauge on the bottom left.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'd never actually seen mine hit 120, the peg below 120.
You told me that.
And it hit the peg below 120. I've never seen, that's the first time.
It pegged out. That's what you told
hot.
me. Yeah.
That was hot.
That's crazy. So anyways, I'll get off my freaking rant on those people that do that at the gas pumps, dude. And it just kept happening, dude. And we're like, people don't get it. So anyways, the LD, oh God. So we have to.
No, hang on. Back up.
We have to have one of these, dude.
Hang on before we get
okay.
to that.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
One maybe ride suggestion in the future.
Yeah.
Is if you're going to go in a huge group, maybe 10, 12 plus, is maybe divide into a 30-minute difference.
Is this a tip for the whole trip?
No. If we were to send like 5 or 6, hey, we know where we're going, right? I have GPS, you have GPS, Jeff has GPS. Half of us have GPS. If half of us were to leave and then maybe 30 minutes later, the other half, that way we're not overwhelming gas stations is another thing.
Yeah, that actually takes some time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're in you're talking about the whole trip, you'd have to do that though, right?
Well, you mix up guys you ride with or put people by, how they ride or
right.
Like the guys with wives, obviously their seat's not as comfortable. They're going to want to get off every 100 miles. Right. So maybe put them together so they can take their breaks together, etc.
I think that's tip 1 for the podcast.
Boom,
yeah.
Boom.
It is.
Wow.
It is. Yeah. And it isn't, I guess. Do you think if we did that Sturgis again, we would do that? Because we kind of did it on other days where we broke up because it's just too much to keep us together in that bigger group in a Sturgis environment. Is that what you're getting at?
No, I'm just saying on the ride. The problem is if you pull into a gas station with 3 pumps, we're sitting there, just the bikes are, you're sitting there waiting for 30 minutes to gas everybody up. Now, if you hit a gas station like that one we kept filling up at in Rapid City, no big deal. They had 20 pumps.
Right.
But if you were to divide the group, that way restaurants, you're not walking in asking for a table for 14.
Right.
You're asking for a table of 6 at a time.
It's true.
Something to consider.
Just an option.
No, I agree. And we actually did do that some of the latter days in and around Sturgis because we knew real quick, and we'll get to that we ain't staying together, boys.
Yeah, right.
There's no way to do that. So you hit Lolo Pass. That was freaking just outstanding, LD, and LD threw that in a ride. Now we missed that. Was it 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Because of the fires, right?
Right.
Okay. So if you get a chance to ride Lolo Pass, highly suggest riding Lolo Pass. It was beautiful. Yeah. It was a great way, and it cooled down, probably dropped about 10, 15 degrees at the very
we get in the trees
top.
And it was beautiful. Even along the river, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
That Lolo Pass is Highway 12 between Lewiston, Idaho, and Missoula, Montana. So if we're calling it Lolo Pass, you can Google it and find it that way, but it is Highway 12 on that stretch.
Pretty cool ride.
awesome, beautiful corners, cools down, all that. So we're trying to get to Missoula. And so I must say this. So we get into Missoula and we always have to have a debacle.
We do.
At least one per trip where we just do circles and end up in neighborhoods where we have no freaking clue where we are. The funny thing is, so LD's leading and I'm busting his balls. He's good because he leads everywhere. But I have to say this because you were, and I just follow because I know you're going to get there. And I don't know what was going on with your GPS, but my GPS was dead on.
I ended up having to get my phone out on that one.
Yeah, see, they do
my
that
GPS
sometimes.
my GPS took us to a house. I'm like, what the hell? We were like 4 miles from the hotel.
We could have got a cheaper rate at that guy's house maybe if we would have knocked on the
I think it was trying to help us.
I kept seeing the destination on my GPS because I had a flag there, and it kept turning. The whole map kept turning. We're just going around it, dude, and we're going, and it was just turning as I was turning. I was just laughing. I was like, "Hey, I'm riding. I don't care."
At one point, we're half a mile from it. Next thing you know, we're 5. What the hell?
So that was our first. I don't have any. I need some of that music, dude. It was
awesome.
It was a clown show, but great times. And hey, it was a nice night, and I was riding. So what the hell?
It was beautiful.
All right. Anything else about day one before we move into day two?
I don't think so.
That you guys can remember? So
good riding.
Yeah, it was good
yeah.
riding.
We got into Missoula and stayed at a Best Western, I believe, there.
Holiday Inn.
Yes, and
Oh, it was a Holiday Inn.
was
That's
it a
right.
Holiday Inn?
Downtown.
Okay.
Right downtown.
Yeah.
And we took great advantage of that. We went out that night.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
Everyone was so exhausted. We just went to bed.
Actually, no, wait.
Popeye.
The hot tub.
Oh yeah, we went in the hot tub. That was
The milk hot tub.
Yeah.
It was lukewarm.
Yeah, but didn't Popeye go out and walk around and came in like 3 a.m?
yeah, because he's used to night shift. But
Oh.
we all got in the hot tub that was a foot low on water.
I missed this.
And it was like someone poured 4 gallons of milk in it.
That was a disaster.
Dude,
Not warm.
bad.
Yeah, icky.
No.
I didn't get in the hot tub. I didn't realize you guys had done that.
Oh, yeah.
We all kind of just went to our rooms. And I was getting my, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but I vlogged. I did a vlog the first day. I had GoPros. We'll talk about that later. I was filming everything. This was going to be a huge documentary. And so I was kind of busy that night trying to square some things away that weren't going right technologically with some of the techo on my bike everywhere. Video cameras, controllers,
Yeah, it was a
On
Bluetooth,
your shoe and
my shoe
what the hell's that
tied
about?
around my leg. I had GoPros,
He
dude.
had to add like 4 car batteries in his saddlebags to maneuver all this stuff.
No doubt. On my helmet, microphone. Oh, anyways, so I was a little preoccupied in Missoula trying to get up and going for day 2. So day 2, what was our plan on day 2 here? Friday, July 31st, we were trying to get from Missoula, Montana to Cody, Wyoming.
With a couple of non-traditional routes, I guess you'd
Why don't
say.
you talk about those, LD?
Yes, we did.
The first route was we would get to Drummond, Montana, and take Highway 1, which we took 2 years ago, and the guys loved it.
Fantastic. That is a fantastic route.
Yeah,
Did we take that 2 years ago?
Yes.
See,
We
I
did.
didn't realize it.
that's where the people were standing outside the Dairy Queen, and
In Anaconda.
and we went by on all the bikes, and they all like stared at us.
That's right. Okay.
So we did that again, and then once we got to just outside of Butte, we got back on 90, and then we won't talk about the lunch.
Yeah. We can.
Debacle.
No. That was a debacle in Livingston.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about that now or later?
How many U-turns did we make?
See, this is what's great about having everybody because I'm blanking on.
No,
what-
this is the one where you and Skins missed the turn.
we were.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that debacle. I got it here.
Well, we had our own debacle.
Can you say it?
Other than your debacle, we had our own debacle.
I got to hear this. Yeah. See, I didn't get to hear this.
How many U-turns did we make?
At least 5, because Jeff knew this great place.
We kept going around in circles.
Jeff goes, "Oh, I know this great place here." And we drove up and down Main Street. And I mean, at his age, he gets a little old. He maybe can't remember.
We
But-
drove by it, twice?
At least. Yeah. I'm like,
That's for Jeff.
I am starving. What in the hell are we doing? And then finally he goes, "I think that's it." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's where we're eating, whether it is or not."
The one place was like, it'd been closed for 5 years. He goes, it was that one, but I think this one's it.
Okay. This is what's funny about this because you sent me a glimpse. And if you guys don't know what a glimpse is, it's just like there's a bunch of apps for it, but LD can send me his location real quick. So the part of the debacle was they were having their own debacle. And then me and Skins didn't take the exit because I didn't know exactly that we were going to exit for lunch.
Basically what happened.
We got behind. I was GoProing.
Ryan's GoProing.
Right, I was.
2 miles
Not
behind
paying
the group.
attention.
So the whole group exits. And I didn't, I'm in front and all I see is single headlights behind me.
Right. It's hard when you're in front.
Yeah, I don't know if there's 5 bikes behind me or 12. I can only see the first 4. So we exit all the way down to the stop sign at the end of the exit. And I stand up on my bike. I look back. I go, we're missing somebody right then on the freeway. Whoom, whoom. I go,
guys go by.
there they go. We're waving at them.
Button hook, man. I know you were going to button hook.
Totally button hooked me,
I
dude.
think Skins saw us.
He did.
But you didn't.
Nope,
And you were
not
in the
a clue,
front, so
not
he
a
just
clue.
said- yeah.
Just motoring down the road, dude. And the Skins came up behind me, honking his horn, dude, and trying to get my attention. He's pointing, that they're back there. I'm like, okay. So we took the next exit.
Well, and that's the problem with Livingston. It has two exits. And
Right.
one on each end of town. They're like 5 miles apart.
Yeah.
At least because I just rode through there 3 days
Yeah,
ago.
you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. It was a bit before we could get back. And so LD sends me a glimpse, and I'm like, great. And I don't have great coverage there. And so no big deal. We'll figure it out. I wasn't that stressed, but I was like, okay, I look at the glimpse and I'm like, and I'm refreshing it and I'm going, okay, there they go. Oh, okay. I got where they are. Okay, Skins, never mind. They're moving again. And they're doing 25 miles an hour. You can see the speed and everything. Speaking of, Glimpse has been around since the inception of iPhones. They were one of the first GPS locator apps. There's an Apple one, Find My Friends, but it's only platformed for Apple. So LD did a good idea and got kind of before Sturgis, everybody up and running because it's cross-platform. It can go Android to Apple and Apple to Android.
And that way guys can send a deal to their wives who are home interested in what they're doing. They can check, or you can put it on, you can send the link to an individual person and then copy and paste it into a Facebook post or what. I did that a lot coming back from Pittsburgh.
Did you turn it off when you were at the horror house, or?
No, you just leave it on.
Just
Was I supposed to have that?
Your wife was with you.
Yeah, you're
right.
right.
Well, I didn't. Okay.
I
I didn't pay attention to that for a reason.
And I use Find My Friends Apple, and it's on all the time. You can give permission for that. So me and my wife and my kids, we all have it. We all know where each other is all the time. So I never have to send anything. But the nice thing about Glimpse is in this situation where you don't know where somebody is, you can give them an expiring glimpse. So you can say, make that link valid for my location for an hour. And you can text it to even somebody without the app, and they can quickly hit it. It takes you to a web page, and it shows speed, it shows direction, and kind of where you're at. So, and then you can actually hit the map. And of course, if you have the app, then you can see your location in relation to LD's. And that's how I got. And we did a phone call or two, but I was laughing too because now I know, because I was like, they stopped. They must be waiting for us. Oh, no, they're moving again.
Yeah, that was the deal.
That was the deal. Okay.
And there was a ton of traffic. They must have had some festival or something that weekend, like an art festival or something. So we're trying to navigate all these cars.
Yeah.
And we had like 9 bikes in the group. And it was a mess.
The festival, the Ragu Festival. Yeah. And so we're getting closer towards that way. You get into Montana, you really start seeing more bikes headed east.
Right. Yeah.
And not necessarily west, but more bikes headed east from this area over towards Sturgis. So, all right. So we hooked up, ate lunch, and then we ended up, where are we trying to get to Cody? See, I'm trying to recall this. So
we went after lunch. We got back on 90 and we took it to the turnoff to Red Lodge. And I don't know what highway, maybe Highway 212.
I'd have to look it up again.
Beartooth Pass
is
is 212.
Yeah.
But I don't know what highway goes between Red Lodge and 90. But the name of the town starts with a C. Columbus. You turn off at Columbus.
Okay, you got it.
Highway 78. You turn off at Columbus.
Are you on my Wi-Fi, by the way?
Not at all.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I just wondered because it's super slow right now.
On both devices, maybe.
Yeah, right.
I think I'm hooked to your phone. That's what I usually do.
You shouldn't be because my phone hotspot isn't on.
Oh, well, I don't know.
You're doing something.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways. All right. So back at it. So what's the name of it?
Columbus.
Okay.
It's Highway 78, turn south to Red Lodge. And and then you get on Highway 212. There's also a Highway 212. The problem is they're about 30 miles apart. So if you're coming from one direction, you'd take 212. If you're coming from our direction, you'd take Highway 78.
Oh, that's right. Because when we talk about you'd never taken that was a new route, wasn't it?
Right. And then they both get to 212, which is Beartooth Pass, and it goes up to 10,947 feet.
That Beartooth was everything I hoped it was and more.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal road, and the getting up there is great, but getting back down the other side is just as good.
It was beautiful. And then what'd we do? Chief Joseph Highway.
Yeah, and then 212 goes down and comes into I guess it'd be the northeast corner of Yellowstone, or you can turn off and take Chief Joseph Scenic Byway to Cody, and that's what we did. And that's where we encountered the box van and the SUV.
That SUV, Brenda, if Brenda's listening, she's still angry about that SUV. And it had like Nebraska or Illinois plates or something, dude. And that SUV
Yeah, it passed probably.
Tell me about this because I don't.
Okay, well,
I wasn't there.
Since you're in the back playing GoPro,
Right.
you were actually there.
Filming you bastards.
Because I guarantee you, every one of us was backed up behind this damn thing for about 10 miles.
Oh, yes, I do remember going down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they would go slow corners and then really fast in the straights and then slow. And I'm
Yes.
And it passed about, well, I don't know, 20 turnouts
You're
at
right.
least.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
So what happened?
That's what I was singing, dude. Just ready to go off.
And the problem is that's a windy road. So your opportunities to pass are very limited. So we ended up in a big group. We had to take it basically one at a time.
Yeah.
So I passed it, and then Lee passed it, and then I think you were the next one.
Yeah.
And finally, we all got around it, I believe. And then once we got to the turnoff back to Cody,
That's where we all met up.
And then when we turned into Cody, you want to talk about bikes?
That's when it hit us.
That was
I think.
insane.
That's when it was reality.
That one hotel
That
on the right
Sturgis was
did not
going
have
on.
a car at it.
Yeah.
Downtown Cody must have had 700 bikes.
Oh, at least
It was
and,
insane.
You know, you guys are all bike riders listening. The one hand wave when you pass another bike. Cody's about the time it stopped.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was wondering if you were going to talk.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
funny
You
because I was
couldn't do it.
thinking it. Yeah.
You'd have one hand off your bike the entire time.
Forever.
You'd never
It
be
was
able to
pointless.
clutch.
Yeah, at that point it was pointless.
It is funny how that ended.
Yeah.
And although I appreciate the one hand wave, it ended for me
Yeah.
abruptly, I should say.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to talk about Cody a little more. I'm going to back up briefly and give I will tell you that I had a lot of highlights of the trip, and everybody has different highlights. Everybody has, their own vision of certain rides and what they're going to do. I will tell you unequivocally, Oscar,
That's a big word.
Beartooth Pass was probably one of the highlights, if not the highlight of that trip. And that unbelievable. You had told me about it. I had read about it. Of course, like LD says, I used to just follow him like everybody else, but I got tired of that. So I actually have the maps and I look each day what we're doing. I want to know what highways I want to know. I don't want to miss anything. So plus it's not fair to dump all that on you. So I try to have a second backup, which came in very handy later in the trip when you lose us or we lose you. Everybody then looks to me to
That's
go,
true.
okay, Ryan,
That's
where are we
true.
going? So I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I got this because I mapped it out. But Beartooth Pass, absolutely. If you go to Sturgis, I don't care which you're coming from, east, north, south, or west. I don't care. You have to hit Beartooth Pass at some point during that ride. Unbelievable. LD told you it goes up so many thousands of feet. The scenery is just like heaven. And the
The road.
temperature, the road.
The road was good.
It is.
The surface was good. The corners were tight.
Rated the number one
Is it?
most beautiful scenic byway in the
See?
United States by
And I didn't
one
know
of the
that.
Road Traveler magazines.
See, I didn't even know that. And and I'm rating it number one.
That's my second time on it, and it was just as good as the first time.
He probably got every time we would talk about the trip before we went. He probably got tired of me hearing me say I wanted to go. Couldn't wait to go over Beartooth and Lolo. Can't wait to go over Beartooth and Lolo. And
Yeah.
it was. I agree with you, dude. That was probably for me.
I don't know what it was. It just took me out to
It was
a different
awesome.
place, a
Oh,
different
dude.
level.
Now, I've ridden both of those. So that ride after Cody, to me, when we went up where all the ATVs were, and
Granite Pass. Okay, that was my second favorite.
that was phenomenal.
yeah,
too.
that was my second favorite.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Day 3.
Day 3. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. So Beartooth Pass, just the only thing I'll leave on that note is be prepared. It's got beautiful corners, it's got the scenery, it's got the temperature, it's got just breathtaking when you get up top. Be prepared for it because it can drop really quick. And LD has some experiences and some people told me they rode it a week before and it was actually snow on top.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, just sideways. It's not sticking, but
So
still.
my experience from 2011, I think, was I left Red Lodge probably at 85 plus degrees.
Yeah.
I ascended. I
ascended,
went
uh-huh.
up, and it dropped a little bit. It wasn't bad, but as soon as I crested the top, there was still quite a bit of snow up there that year. And the wind off the snow, I bet you it was 35 degrees.
See.
I couldn't pull over fast enough. I put on every piece of clothes I had. As far as I put on chaps. I put
And
on a
what
second
month was
coat.
that in?
That was probably August. 'cause
Okay.
I know that when I came through Boise on the way home, it was 108. So
Okay.
it was hot time in the summer. The other thing I want to warn you guys on that road is be very careful of fallen rock. That one corner where we had to stop
yeah.
and clean, we cleaned the road out in one spot. It was
call.
horrible.
Bikers helping bikers. That's a good point.
There was some bikes pulled over and they were telling us to slow down. I thought there was a bike down, so I pulled off. And
I thought the bike was down too. That's the first thing I thought.
What happens is a lot of times when they'll have a rock face like that right next to the road, they'll put that almost like a plaster over it.
Yeah, it's some kind of mortar or something.
Yeah, a chunk of that, the size of a car, had fallen off and just shattered in the road, and there was rock everywhere. So we took the time to stop, and there was us and another group of bikes, probably 5 or 6 in that group, and we spent about 15 minutes cleaning the road off so no bike went down. But
yep.
Well,
Good call. Switchbacks.
Third thing about Beartooth, and these guys called it, which is it is not a place to push and test your skills.
not at all.
I mean, we were doing
not during Sturgis, especially when there's that many bikes.
There was a lot of bikes, but I mean, the corners were beautiful, but it was like there was no forgiveness. If you went a little wide, you were gonzo. I mean, there were some guardrails here and there, but especially up top and coming down, if you went off into God knows what. So I took it pretty easy. Most corners, if it said 20 or if it looked like a sharp corner, we slowed way down, and yeah.
I'll say that I feel like I probably ride my bike just as hard as most people, or
Oh, certainly, yeah.
hard as most. I mean, a lot of people. That's one ride I've been on it twice where I just took my time, relaxed,
Yeah.
and you lose yourself in the moment. I mean,
Yep.
it's just breathtaking in every direction.
Hold on. So Brenda's listening. So she's feeding us stuff too.
Oh, nice.
And I know we talked about this.
Brenda's Oscar's wife.
Yeah.
Hello, Brenda. And thank you for washing my underwear when we're in Sturgis.
Sounds
and my
so
dirty socks.
wrong,
She's a dude.
She did.
She's quite a gal, man.
Yeah,
And not to
she
get off
did.
topic, but dang it, she took care of us. And I felt embarrassed because I'm like, you want my
cooked the
sweaty
breakfast.
underwear and sweaty socks? She's like, I wash them for you. What an angel. Anyways, go ahead.
She took to my underwear. It was kind of weird.
Because she wanted to know why you were wearing women's underwear. And I'm like, look, don't ask questions. We were going up. We were getting close to the top. Do you guys remember seeing there was a family riding a motorcycle, like dude riding, gal on the back, 5-year-old sitting on the tank coming down.
No, was the 5-year-old on the tank or between the two?
I did not
he was
see
up
that.
front. He was like on the tank.
Okay.
Because I remember going, there's a kid right up front.
I remember looking and going, what in the hell?
Yeah.
That is not safe.
I missed that.
And no helmets.
Yeah, and there's no helmet.
There's no helmets.
So
Right.
none of them had them on. 3 on one bike. And it wasn't like a big Harley. It was like a 650 trail bike
It
type
was
thing.
something, yeah.
I don't even have any banjo music.
Dude, and they were in a big group of bikes. I'm like, what are these idiots doing?
I'm taking our kid to Sturgis.
God.
Fucking 5,000 miles. Kids riding on the tank.
Wife's on the back, kids on the tank.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks
All
for that, Brenda. Appreciate it. Thanks for listening. And thank you again. You're an angel for taking care of all us nasty guys. Oh, okay, so Beartooth. We'll leave it at that. Ride it. Do it. It's a bucket list. You have to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on down into Cody. And again, this is where we're pretty much smacking us in the face that, yep, we are Sturgis bound because that town, and I think it stays, a lot of people are on their way, but, I think a lot of people stay. You think they stay that far away, or maybe they stay for a couple days and then head into Sturgis?
I wouldn't think they stay that far away.
Yeah, because
I mean, that's
a long 400 miles.
Yeah, I know.
That was a long ways away. I think most people stay in, the Sheridan and in different towns in South Dakota. We saw bikes
all over,
a couple 100 miles away at campgrounds.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, who knows? Shoot. Maybe that's the last place you could get, I guess.
Because I guess that town gets, just talking to some people at the hotel there, staying in a Best Western, they were saying that, a lot of people will party around there, and, not everybody's on our time schedule. So maybe they spend an extra day there, and then, when it is, who knows? Because you got 2 weeks to get in and out of Sturgis, right?
Right.
Speaking of, before we move on to the next part, that's one thing I'll say about Sturgis that I learned, and maybe it's a little bit ignorant, but that's okay. That's what this podcast is for. Is it was 3rd through the 9th were the dates of Sturgis.
Right.
So I actually had a question, and Skins did too. I was thinking to myself, well, the first day we go to Sturgis, it's not even started yet.
Right.
And I'm like, is there stuff going to be missing? Is it not going to be cool? And all that kind of stuff. And I will tell you guys that, and talking to Jeff, he's been there, 7 years in a row. And it just keeps getting longer. Yeah, they have their regular dates, and those regular dates are usually when your concerts and stuff, they kind of schedule around that. But as far as vendors and activity, it's going just as strong. The day before, 2 days before, I would submit 5 days before, right?
Yeah, they say that if you want to go with half the number of bikes, go the week before when everybody's set up or set up.
Right.
We went on.
All the vendors are going to do it because they're still cashing in, so they're there.
Right. we set up on the 2nd, or we went in on the 2nd was our first day, and it didn't start till the 3rd. And there was a bartender gal, and this was like her 3rd year. She lived in Rapid City or some town around there, and she worked it every year at One-Eyed Jack's, I think is where she was. And she said, yeah, they're expecting 1.3 million people.
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Inappropriate.
She said that they were at 1.1 million that day, and she goes, it hasn't even started yet.
See?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy cow. That was also on the 3rd story balcony where we watched a guy dump his bike.
Oh, that's right. You guys did tell me about
Lee
that.
and John and I, yeah.
Just, I will tell you that on that note. So yeah, you don't have to be there the exact dates. It's actually quite, much of a nicer experience when it's not, because there's a few less people.
Yeah.
But again, everything's going on. The vendors are there. They keep spreading it out. They make it longer because they're making billions of dollars, millions and millions and billions of dollars, whoever, if you put everything together. So the vendors understand that, and they're going to be there because they know people are going to be there. And I will tell you that you get a little bit better deals prior, because I ordered one vendor. It's just food, whatever, but I got this package deal on this meal. I went 2 days or 3 days later when we were back in Sturgis. We spent another half or 3/4 of a day there. And I went back to that same vendor, and I'm not realizing, and I said, hey, I'll take that special, where you gave me this, and this for $15. And she goes, yeah, that special is no good anymore. I go, but you just gave it to me, and nicely. And she made me aware. She goes, yeah, that's pre-Sturgis. She goes, now it's Sturgis days.
Yeah, it was,
I go,
it was the same exact price, but you didn't get fries.
Oh, is that what it was? Were you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's when we got the Philly cheesesteaks.
That's right. I couldn't remember who I was with. That's when it became evident to me that, oh yeah, okay.
There is a difference.
How can you argue with that?
You got fries and a pop and the Philly cheesesteak for $15, and it was just $15 for just a Philly cheesesteak.
Pisses me off, LD. Pisses me off.
It's a conspiracy.
Tasted just the same, bitch. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. All right. So, yeah, so just know that. I just wanted to say I did learn that. So, out of Cody, right? And we're headed in the next day. We still aren't at Sturgis, Cody, Wyoming. I will tell you, the roads in Cody, in Wyoming, period, are freaking awesome compared to Washington State roads.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of roads out there.
Even in Dakota. Money.
Let me give you a little insight on that later.
Please.
When I talk about my after Sturgis trip.
And actually,
okay.
I want to talk
some of the worst roads I've ever ridden on.
I want to talk about
Really?
Rapid City roads for a minute too, because Brenda and I had an experience one night that
Oh, yeah.
was not good.
We will. So I'm jotting that down. Okay. We'll bring that up. That's good. All right. So
Sturgis last week, a buddy of mine was there.
Huh?
Showing him a picture. Sturgis last week, a buddy of mine there. No car, just cars.
Yeah,
no bikes at all.
Bikes.
That's crazy.
That's a week and a half after.
Dang.
Yeah.
It must look so different.
Oh,
Different.
It's a town of like 7,000 people.
Yeah. And then you could actually see the buildings and stuff. So Cody, Wyoming to Rapid City. And we were looking at a Facebook picture of what we were talking about there in case you guys missed that. But it's a guy sending a picture of what Sturgis looks like now with everybody gone. Cody, Wyoming, this is day 3 to Rapid City. This is the city we're destination trying to get to, because this is where we had a friend with a home, and he's in the same field as we are, in LEO here in the local area, and his parents live in Rapid City. They were nice enough to give up their home for us, and we want to thank publicly. Yes, we want to thank them very much.
Yeah.
We'll just say the
Rich and
Perez's. We won't. Yeah, Rich and Donna. That's fine. Doesn't matter. We want to thank them for giving up their home and allowing us to stay in it. And we tried to treat them right and gave them a little package. And hopefully they were able to use that on something fun, because we were saving a ton of money.
Yeah, that was, yeah. Wow.
And Rapid City, guys, is about 30 miles outside, 30 miles east of Sturgis itself. So it's actually a good little buffer.
Yeah.
But it's a happening little town with bikes too. Because and that's the thing I learned too about Sturgis is every town has their own little Sturgis, or little thing going on. And everybody knows, and anywhere probably within 150 square miles, every little town is ready for it. And you can stay, and they've got hotels. And of course, people are renting homes. A lot of people in Rapid City, just like Sturgis, actually leave their homes on purpose during that time and rent them out for hundreds and thousands of dollars. In fact, the one Jeff rents in Sturgis, that guy makes something, I'm just throwing it out there, like, $20,000 or something.
He probably pays his annual house payment.
Right.
There was like 8 or 10 people or something staying there.
And it's a little cracker box.
He said that on the property, it was a city lot. They'd have 23 people a night staying on it.
Yep. They put tents in the yard, everything.
Yep.
And they just make bank $20,000, $30,000. They cash in. They're willing to go stay in a hotel in another state for that time and rent their house out. So Rapid City, same thing going on. Cool little town, Rapid City.
Really cool. I really liked Rapid City.
I did too. It's pretty clean.
Yeah,
It's 60,000 people. It's a good sized town.
Yeah. Small. Yeah, it is. And growing, obviously.
Right.
But pretty much everything you need. Stores, you got Walmart, you got Safeways, you got Starbucks, you got, everything that a biker needs.
Yeah, major hospital.
Yeah, major hospital, right?
With like 10 helicopters parked outside. Just waiting to bring in the bikers.
Life Flight collected.
Yeah, they were ready every day we drove by that. We're like, that's my mission today, not to go on that helicopter.
Well, we were between the hospital and the Black Hills.
Yeah, right.
And in the evening time, it was like just helicopter after helicopter overhead. I'm like, Jesus, another one down, another one down.
Yeah.
Well, and that could have been us, those two knuckleheads when we were going to the bear park that crossed right in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
That could have been.
Yeah, that was. And I almost got hit once, too.
Yeah.
It would have been my fault, though. There was a truck turning right in a right turn lane, and there was a car in it.
Oh, that's
behind
right.
it, and I couldn't see the car. So I started to go.
You and Lee were together.
And Lee starts yelling. He goes, car, car, car. So I stop. And when that truck turned, here's this big SUV that was right behind it. He said, he goes, I couldn't see it either, but right at the last second, he said he saw the shadows through the windows of the truck.
Dang, dude.
And at 55, we were getting onto a highway. I would have got an aerial
you would have got your
of
flight.
Rapid City.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And we'll talk about that. Well, let's throw it out there. So before we move into Rapid City in this day a little bit more, but since you brought it up, let's go off on a tangent a little bit. So the statistics, the most recent I read were 13 or 14 fatalities.
Wow.
During Sturgis this year. Usually they hover around 7 or 8, but because Sturgis was double the size almost this year because of the 75th anniversary, they reported it's a number of 13 or 14 fatalities. So unfortunate as that is, it's right in line with what they expected for those numbers. And, that ranges from everything to, rubberneckers, not paying attention, to some rear end collisions, some, a lot of them bikers' faults.
I read a story. Well, at the house we were staying at, they got the paper every day. So I was reading an article. A guy was making a left turn, and I don't know what happened. It doesn't sound like he went down. But anyway, there was a gal on the back of his bike. She got thrown off the bike.
Whoa.
And he rode, not like he took off and left her, but he got out of the road and took the side road they were going to be on, and a bike coming the other direction hit her and killed her as she was laying in the road.
Wow.
That
sucks. I was like, how in the hell does this happen? And then there was a couple of rear end deals. A guy went in a ditch, got thrown from his bike into a tree and got killed. And just unfortunate.
Fatalities are unfortunate, but 13 out of how many bikes were there is a pretty low number.
Yeah.
Relatively.
Right.
I mean,
how many people were mangled, though? You know what I mean?
That is a stat that's
there's
all
probably
by
100
itself.
the people that needed ICU.
Were there lots of manglings?
Oh, there was a lot more wrecks. That was just fatalities. There was a ton of wrecks.
Wow. There was 14 wrecks, 13 fatalities. That was it.
Right.
Pretty clean run.
Oh, good one, LB.
Yeah, I mean, you probably, 1,800 wrecks. I mean, because you just guys tipping their bikes over, and at
everything from dumping it on a corner to I mean, there's a ton of there's bikes down
thousands of wrecks. I'd imagine. If you considered a wreck, I mean, something that was going to have an insurance claim. How about that?
Right.
A couple thousand.
Funny thing is, we didn't see a one, and I kept waiting to.
Yeah,
I saw one.
I was surprised. We didn't see any.
You saw one guy dump one.
Yeah, he dumped it. He went hot into a corner and went down. And as soon as he went down, the Indian was with us.
Indian John had two himself.
Indian John had two himself. So Indian John goes, that's a Indian Scout or some bike an Indian makes. Indian makes some new bike. He goes, that bike's been out for like 3 months. He goes, that's a brand new bike. And the guy was looking at it laying in the road. I'm thinking, holy shit.
Jeez.
Well, you know what? The closest we came to crashing, Brandon and I, on the whole trip, right when we turned off at 24 north into town, and I got a little, just like what happened in Chewy. I took the corner of the wire, started to scrape, and I felt the tire beep, beep, beep,
started to peg out.
And then we were home. It would have been 100 yards from my house.
Dude, this is when you got back?
Wow.
Yeah, our last day.
What are the odds of that?
Turning into town was the closest, and that's awesome.
I will say that, not to get completely off on a tangent, but important piece of information is as soon as you hit the Idaho state line for us guys, everything after that, you could not wear a helmet.
America.
And a lot of the guys I'm GoProing, and I'm not quite as risky as I used to be, but I did ride some back and forth to Sturgis without a helmet, those days, in and around Rapid City, which is stupid because
Missouri.
Yeah.
Missouri, Nebraska, Washington, Oregon, California are about the only 5
'Cause you
states
looked all
on the
this
West
up.
Coast. Yep. Because I rode to Pittsburgh and back.
Yes.
And no state did I have to wear a helmet other than Washington.
Other than Washington, yeah.
Yep.
Out of the ones you hit.
So I went 6,063 miles in 18 days, and I probably rode 5,700 miles with no helmet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
That's
could say
awesome.
I went helmetless as much as I could, and it was beautiful. It was glorious.
Yeah.
Absolutely glorious.
And like we always say here, preach, guys, that's completely up to each individual rider. We don't judge, each to their own. And a lot of us wore helmets.
We're going to give you crap if you wear a helmet.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Well,
Just a little
I
bit.
wore a
That's fine.
helmet most of the time, but I had GoPro going. But like I say, around Rapid City and back and forth, some of that stuff, I ditched it. But anyways, we won't even get into a whole topic on that. But
I thought we weren't going to digress today.
we're digressing all the time.
Yeah, we're
dude.
done. Let's
Yeah,
talk about Granite Pass, because I tell you what, other than Beartooth, Granite, I
Are
want
we
to thank
even-
you for that, because that was an awesome ride.
Well,
Are we even on that day?
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
we started
So
there.
we leave Cody, and for about 40
Our
miles,
home in Cody.
there was 0 turns.
But there was a lot of antelope.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah,
pretty.
and that was real risky, dodging the antelope. And so I'm thinking, this sucks. And then we get onto this Granite Pass. It says Granite Pass, National Scenic Byway or whatever. And for about 20 miles of that, I'm thinking, this is horrible. And then you come around a corner and you're in this rock canyon.
Oh, dude, that was awesome.
From
I got
there-
some great GoPro footage that we don't have anymore that day, huh? Because there was like
see.
miles I could be in the left lane, oncoming and no traffic, and I was just riding beside you guys filming.
Yeah, from that
You're right,
canyon
and it
on,
just, bam.
once we got in that, and then we stopped, and that's where we all went to the bathroom and stuff.
Yeah, right.
That from that canyon on was phenomenal.
That is now my second favorite ride. Beartooth is my first.
Yeah,
That is my second. That was awesome.
I agree.
That was man, I love that. That was so
just
cool.
all of a sudden you drop down a hill,
Yeah.
and you've
And
been
then-
riding straight
wow.
for LD. You nailed that good.
Yeah,
and
I
then
thought-
bam, rock canyons on both sides, and you're just like, oh my god, it's
Jeff's
beautiful.
like, oh, this is a great ride. And for the first hour, I'm thinking, this sucks.
Yeah.
When are we going to get to the great ride?
Well, that's when those two knuckleheads passed us in a no passing zone. I don't know how fast they were going, 110, and just kept passing hill. No passing zone on the crest of a hill. I'm like,
Well, there was a line of about 10 cars.
right.
And Lee and I looked at each other and we said, there's no way we're going to get our group through this many cars, so we're not going to pass. And yeah, those guys were flying
was
around
insane.
cars. They were taking them like 2 and 3 at a time until they got around everybody.
That was insane.
Yeah, it was Granite Pass. I agree. Second.
Awesome.
I think I'm with Oscar. Now, you're bringing it back to me. That's why I'm sitting here looking around, because I'm trying to take that all in and recollect it. And I do remember, we stopped
And that's where the
and get the
people,
pictures and stuff.
the people were on quads everywhere. I mean, that'd be a great place to go camping.
That
too.
was, and it was like the tree line, and there's all these RVs parked on this tree line, and then there's like random roads that go off up wherever.
No, you want to know what's random, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. At the tip top, middle of nowhere, this dog.
The dog. What was the dog doing up there?
I have no idea.
Just
Where did
straight
they
up
come
ghetto
from?
dog. You're right.
It wasn't like a coyote. This was a domestic dog.
It was
And
a
that-
res dog too.
And that damn thing about ran out in front of me. I'm thinking, oh crap. Yeah, we're in the
dog.
middle of nowhere. There wasn't a camp for 40 miles.
That was a crazy area.
Yeah.
Beautiful ride, but
The dog scared me.
the random dog.
So is this the day we had lunch in Buffalo?
That was after we rode through all that.
Through
yes, we
Granite.
did.
Yeah,
Yes, we
right.
did. Yep.
So prior to that, I just want to say,
no, that was at Buffalo. No,
Yeah.
that was at
he
Sheridan.
lost
Sheridan.
Yeah, it was
That
at
was at
Sheridan.
Sheridan.
Yep.
I have it right here. So we're in Sheridan. Let's talk about this real quick. We decided to stop in Sheridan.
So about
Wyoming.
3 weeks before we leave, I see a Facebook post and it says
Oh.
top 10 best bars in the West.
That's right.
And we had been to one of them 2 years ago, the $1 Million Cowboy Bar in
right.
Jackson Hole. And
Oh, yeah.
I think there was one.
I didn't get to go to that.
You did not get to go to that. I think there was one other bar
Sorry.
on the list that I had been
Still
to or
pissed.
something. Yeah,
Go ahead.
I would be too. And so I said, hey, we can hit 3 of the bars out of these 10 on this trip. So Sheridan was one of them. And so we went to the Mint and we got gas, rode over to the Mint, and we had one beer.
Yeah,
all
it's
we
called
went
the
in
Mint,
there,
right?
Yeah, went in
Yeah.
there, took some pictures. Oh, great. We parked on that one block off Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And then Skin says, I left my gas cap at that gas station. Gas is spilling all over me.
Dude.
I'm like,
no.
what the hell?
And we were hurting for time too.
Yeah, and
that point.
we literally had been gone from the gas station 20 minutes.
And it's 105 degrees.
Yeah, so we go back, and gas cap's gone.
Yep. We tried.
Yep.
This is what I don't understand. Somebody else lost their gas cap on this trip. Who was it? I have it later in the notes. There was another one. Anyway, I have it in the notes. You may have not been with us. But who, I don't understand who, I've seen gas caps sitting on gas stations. Who takes those?
Yeah, where would it go?
Yeah,
what would you use it for?
Well, here's
I
the
need
thing.
a spare.
You need a spare, and there's 40,000 Harleys moving through town.
True.
Yeah,
And
I guess.
20,000 of those use that gas cap or more.
Yeah,
Right.
plus he didn't know if he left it on the pump or if it fell. Yeah.
Some guy's probably like, oh, look, an extra gas cap for my bike.
Yeah, I just don't know. If
I left mine on the top of the pump and rode up to the front of the store and went, oh, shit. And then I went back and grabbed it.
Was that at 78? Was that at Columbus? Was that somewhere else? Wasn't that at Columbus?
It might have been.
I want to, I can't remember the name of this place. We went to the Mint. We totally missed out.
and that's the bar, one of the top in the West.
Yeah,
One of the
on the
three
way
we hit.
back, we went about a block west.
This is when you guys came back
When
on
we
your
came
own.
back on our own, we
Right.
went about a block west to some pub. I can't remember the name of it. This was the coolest place. It had the best service by far of any restaurant I've been in. The beer was awesome, and then I had a sandwich called the Angioplasty. It had fried pickles.
The angioplasty.
The Angioplasty, and
That's
it had
a heart thing,
It
dude.
was awesome. It stopped my heart for a minute. But anyway, we missed that. Now we didn't have time for lunch, but dude, that place. Anytime we go through Sheridan, I'll find the name of it and I'll probably put it up there because dude, the waiter was phenomenal, and it was just the coolest place.
Nice.
We ended up eating. Well, we lose the gas cap. We get back on the freeway and we go to Sheridan.
Right.
No, we
That
go
was
to,
where the
that
bar
was
was.
Sheridan.
okay.
we
We go to Buffalo.
Yeah,
which
for
is
lunch.
like 40 minutes down the road, and that's where we had lunch. And we went.
so
to
now we're behind about an hour and a half because of the Sheridan stop, right?
Yeah.
Because that gets worse later.
Yeah. So we went to the Occidental Hotel. Yeah, another top 10 bar, and that's where we ate.
Yeah. What's it called?
The Occidental
The
Hotel.
Occidental. It was cool.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
The waitress was less than.
They weren't prepared.
They were
You're
not
all-
prepared for
I
that.
talked to the owner and he said, we're not prepared.
How can you not be prepared? Sturgis is every year. That was my question. I'm like, you people know this is coming.
She goes, "You're all gonna eat like, oh shit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The look on her face, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Like this is
Well,
every year, lady, and
I
you're
got-
one of the top 10 in the West. You don't frickin' think that.
I got my food, finished it,
oh,
and was
Oscar.
ready to go down the street and have a beer at another place where I park my bike. Oscar hadn't got his food yet.
Yeah. And then we're like, all right, whatever. We were going to the bar to get beers because the lady was too overwhelmed. There's too many people. And so I was like, I'm just going to go up to the bars and get beers 2 at a time. Save some time.
Yeah, it was a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool bar though.
Yeah, it wasn't
It was
bad.
a neat
still
place.
ate,
yeah,
but-
yeah, it was fine.
That put us behind even more.
Right?
That did put us
And,
behind even more.
That almost never happens.
Right.
We're always on time.
We are always on.
We were up to this point
But now
in the trip.
after this though, we motored pretty good after this.
Yeah.
We stopped. Well, not
Well,
really.
remember the meeting before? This is where we had to
No.
make the big decision.
No.
Yeah, in Buffalo, we said,
Nope.
really?
Not until the Harley dealership when we got Skins' gas cap.
Wasn't that just down
No,
the
Jeff,
road?
we sat under that tree where our bikes were parked in front of the Occidental, and Jeff had a meeting, and I GoPro'd it, and I have it on
that's
my
right.
iPhone.
That's true. He GoPro'd that we decided not to do Devil's Tower.
That
because
was
it
the-
was not gonna. We would have been way late.
which
Yeah,
was
right.
Bighorn National Forest.
No, Bighorn was,
Was the
no,
one we rode over.
Oh, we rode
That's
over
Granite.
Okay, and it's Devil's Tower that we
Yeah.
just. Okay, yes.
So Jeff, at this point, is this when he takes his helmet off and goes all Sturgis on us?
No. That was no. That
That was before the Harley dealership because that's when we knew we had to split up.
No, that was in Sturgis. That was in
No,
Sturgis.
it wasn't. We stopped at the Harley dealership.
I call him Sturgis Jeff. That's his alter ego.
Oh, yeah.
Sturgis Jeff.
So I think this is about where it was. It was either here or a gas stop, and Jeff puts on his rings, and he takes
He
off
changes. He changes
yeah.
personalities.
He took off his helmet.
takes off his helmet, puts on his bandana.
Oh yeah, and his rings. Did you say rings?
Yeah,
And
he
the
has
rings,
rings.
yeah.
He's got rings on. I think like 8 of his 10 fingers, and he goes,
Yeah.
"I'm looking for 2 more while I'm at Sturgis." I'm like, "What the hell?" So he gets on the freeway, and Jeff, who's a pretty,
But he changes too because
Oh.
then he starts getting he's starting to push people's buttons during that meeting. Did you hear him? I was next to him and he goes, "Oh, you guys, you don't have to do Devil's Tower. It's going to put you behind. You're going to be in it like 11 o'clock." But I would, if I were you, it's a once in a lifetime ride. And he's just dicking with everybody,
hey,
dude.
I'm a better man for having seen it. That's what he said to us. That's right. I'm like, what the hell?
Why would you miss something like that? I'm like,
Oh, he got all giddy and he was just, I looked at him, I go, "You're a freaking instigator totally right now."
So Jeff, who I wouldn't say he's a conservative rider. I mean, he rides hard, but he's 5 over kind of guy. He gets on the freeway and I ride fast and I'm like, what in the hell are we doing?
He just changed. He
He
snapped.
set his cruise like at 95. I think
He fucking snapped, dude.
I think it's the rings. It was the rings. So the group start, there's guys that just don't want to go 95, especially people with their wives. I know when I ride a hell of a lot different with my wife on the back of the bike. I was by myself, so I was like, okay, whatever. But the group just spreads out and gets all fucked up because no one knows what the hell's going on.
And if you guys haven't been in these areas during Sturgis, there's lots of people doing that speed. Some of the speed limits are 85 plus.
Yeah, the
you're
speed
doing
limit.
8 over, you're doing 90, between 90 and 95. That's normal.
That's what was amazing too. I was at speed limit signs at 80 or 85, and I'm like, wow.
Love it. Love
That's
it.
Yeah, I
Impressive.
couldn't believe it. So then we stopped to get gas, or we stopped to get skins of gas cap.
Well, we stopped at a dealership. Yeah, that's right.
So they giving out free ice cream. They had free water to drink, and they're catering to the Sturgis crowd. And I can't remember what town we're in.
Yeah, good call.
And
Jeff
then-
took us there
Yeah, and then
at 95.
at 95. And so this is when the guys that are, they got their wives are like, I am not going 95. So we decided to split the group because we didn't want to leave Jeff to ride by himself, but he's going to ride like a bat out of hell anyway. So
And he had his wife on his bike.
yeah, and his wife just
She's a trooper.
Oh, yeah.
She's a riding machine.
Lee and we'll talk about it later. So
Oh, yeah. No, I know what you're going to say.
she gets right into this whole Sturgis deal. She's right with him. Don't make no mistake about it. So Lee and I, we go, well, we'll ride with Jeff. So we motored down the freeway just hauling it. And everybody else was like, screw that. So I was glad to see, that we didn't, like, it was one guy wanting to go or one guy wanting to stay back. The group, we divided up. So,
Right.
so Lee and I motor.
Divide and conquer.
Yeah, we motor on. Jeff exits at Sturgis, and Lee and I go to the house and meet our hosts. And they're like, I said, hey, does pizza deliver here? She goes, oh, I made pulled pork sandwiches for you guys. And then,
Yeah.
and then their son works with a couple of our guys, and she goes, I got you guys Bud Light. And I
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
I got Chewy and Jake. I got them some wine coolers. That's what Derek says they like.
Because they worked at the same department for years.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, did they drink them? They drank them.
I don't think they did.
Oh,
Oh,
text,
yeah, they did.
The
They
text started coming in. They took a picture with it. Yeah. Jackass.
So
Derek. Love it.
we weren't there too much before you guys, 20, 30 minutes.
Well, and
then-
I we're for the Savage. This is where I knew for me when Sturgis, when we were getting close, because we stopped in Spearfish because it was getting hot. Get some water because that's what I usually drink when we stop. And the only other Indian bike, just like John's, came in, and I says, "Hey, look, that's the only other Indian we've seen so far. It's brand new. Just like, let's go talk to the guy." And so we walked up and we were talking to him, and John's like, "Wow, this is a beautiful bike. It's really clean," because the bike had Michigan plates on it. And he's like, "Did you guys just wash this?" Or he says, "Oh, no. It's just the trailer's just up the road here at the hotel in Spearfish." I'm like,
I bet
Here
you
we are.
over half the bikes there are trailers.
at least.
I was
trailer.
unimpressed with that shit.
The
I
more
really-
we
yeah.
got closer, the more trailers, and you see big $300,000
Well,
Insane.
toy haulers.
Yeah.
here's the thing:
and-
the invention of the toy hauler in the last 5-10 years has fucking changed Sturgis, dude.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Shit. There is.
And here's what I say, and let's get off on this tangent. Damn it,
We have to.
the trailer your bike to Sturgis. There's a lot of views on that. Now I'll give you my opinions, and then you guys can and I know what LD's opinion. I'll give this nice opinion. I'll go, it's gay.
No, I actually
Okay.
have a somewhat. I
Okay.
have a reasonable opinion on this. one.
Okay, so this is what I believe is reasonable opinion.
Whatever.
This is the one time, dude, that he has a reasonable opinion.
right.
Okay,
Helmets are gay.
helmets are, yeah. I say, and I say each to their own, whatever.
Full face are super gay.
Right. Except I was the only one that didn't have sunburn, chapped nose and lips. Wasn't it you?
I'm peeling for the second time.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I didn't. I was fine.
Without getting off on that, that's rider fatigue. We got to do an episode on that. But so I say, at first glance when people are trailing their bikes, and I guess it comes down to the different kind of people that trailer their bikes. There's some people that just have a lot of money, and that's the only weekend they actually ride their bike, and they got
Right. $60,000 show bike.
Yeah, they got some stupid show bike, and that's great if you want to have a show bike, but they don't really ride. And then there's the people that can't afford to get hotels every night, and so they want to at least get into Sturgis or
Right.
somewhere around, and they want to have the amenities of a trailer instead of a hotel. I get that. So
Or tent.
or tent. That, yeah. I mean, if you're tenting it, you can ride technically.
Exactly.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
But here's the shit that I'm like, that makes me shake my head. And I'm not judging anybody out there. If you're a listener and you did this, Lee.
Oh yeah, we're judging you.
Here's what I don't get. I don't get a $300,000 motorhome. And it's one thing to have a trailer with a show bike on it. It's another to have two ultra limited touring bikes. Right. What the frick is that, dude?
We saw
those
lot
bikes
of those.
are made to ride across.
Yeah.
Why would you? I can get it. You want to trailer your show bike and look cool because show bike you can only ride to the bar and back and your ass hurts.
Right.
Okay, I get it. You're trying to show off and you want to take your pretty bike down there. I get it. Can't ride that, but it's an ultra limited, man.
It's made.
It's on a
that's what
trailer.
It's supposed to do that.
Why did you buy that then?
I don't know. Yeah, buy a Dyna.
If you're just going to trailer to Sturgis, just get yourself a Sportster and ride the cool little highways and tear the corners up, you know? But anyways, so I'm not judging anybody that trailers. We all have our opinions. We could knock that around for a whole episode. But I say each to their own again. I try to be understanding, but it does when I pass that, it has to make me think. What say you, LD?
I probably wouldn't.
Bullshit.
I would never trailer my bike. I'll tell you that right now. I probably would not tint it in Sturgis. I would hotel or I would trailer with motorhome or something for the amenities, like you said, because shit,
Yeah.
it rains and hails and everything else. I'm not going to wake up.
It's 105.
Wake up in a puddle of water or go out and drink and then not be able to sleep in because my tent's 1,000,000 degrees.
Have to find somewhere to take a shower.
Yeah.
9 days is a long time to have the old arse not cleaned.
Yeah, especially when you're sweating on your bike all day.
FYI. Yeah.
So I would say for the amenities, I can understand it.
You have to ride it once. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
But no, I mean, I'm going to ride it. I ride all the time. I don't care.
Yep.
I mean, shit, I went 6,000 miles in 2.5 weeks.
In 2.5 weeks. Yeah. LD went, he took off after Sturgis. We'll talk about that. But I did 3,009. I was a little more than you because we stayed more days.
Yeah, right.
And we rode back and forth.
We got almost 2,900.
29.
And I say, if you,
I think I was 32. Yeah, something like that.
If like the ride back, even the rain and the hail, that was a lot of hard miles on the freeway. And that kind of sucks. I mean, it sucks. There's no two ways around it. So if your goal,
you better be ready.
Well, if your goal was to ride only to get to Sturgis, to party and leave, I can see why you would trailer those hard freeway miles and then take your bike. But it was tough riding in, on, and around Sturgis because there were so many freaking bikes. So I don't ride like that. I'd rather do like we did on the way down, which is scenic ride.
Yep.
Sturgis was part of the trip, but not the whole trip. And then, so the end, we rode hard back and that sucked.
Yeah, if you're going to drink and look at bikes, that's fine.
Then trailer down.
Yeah,
but half the fun of the ride is the ride out there.
Is getting there.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it.
It's a rite of passage too. You have to, even if you're going to trailer it in latter years when you're older, you have to say that you rode Sturgis and back.
At least once.
Yeah, and you can't say...
You got no balls if you
I'm
don't.
from New York. I couldn't, it's too far. Bullshit, because I rode all the way out to Pittsburgh from Washington State.
After Sturgis. Yeah. And then back.
Yeah.
Well, we talked to guys in Cody that were this group of black guys riding trikes, and they had left Delaware or Maryland, and they were riding to California, making a stop in Sturgis.
See, that's awesome. Nowhere
awesome.
In the United States that you can't ride to Sturgis from.
Right.
That's not an excuse.
It's pretty centrally
Our
located.
patrons from Canada came down.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Right.
So
if you want to ride it, plus it's way cheaper to ride it than it is. I mean, that motorhome, especially the guys that can afford the big diesels, fine, they got enough money. But some of these guys that were pulling bikes with these gas motorhomes, that's got to be at 4 miles to the gallon.
Hey, some of the bikes I saw, I would rather be in a motorhome. I'm like, how in the hell did that get here?
A 35-inch front tire or whatever, front wheel.
Yeah.
Well, I saw one guy. He had like a sport, like a SV650 type bike.
Yeah.
And shit was bungee strapped on it. And
it's amazing.
And I'm not talking like he bungee strapped his coat. I'm talking like parts or bungee strapped on the bike. I'm like, what in the fuck is that thing?
That was awesome.
I'm like, how did that get here? I mean, he has to be from like Spearfish or something because there's no way you're bringing that shit from another state.
Love it, dude. That's hilarious.
And then I saw bikes. I'm like, holy hell, that's like $100,000 bike. I mean, with just wheels and tires, you've got $8,000 in that thing. Because some of those, I call them clown bikes, but they've got like that. I don't know how big those front tires
Yeah,
are.
you're talking about the baggers you're not a fan of. I like them looking at them, but you're not a fan of the baggers with the big wheels, low profile, slammed with the
How big are those front wheels?
like 22s up to 20.
No.
Yeah, 26,
26 up to 26s.
Yeah, at least. I've got almost a 20 on mine.
Yeah, I guess, you're right. 26 plus.
Yeah, they had to. Because we could have got we were at the dealership there in Rapid City, and they had this custom 20. Jeff will correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was a 22 wheel with an Avon tire mounted for $1,000, and they would have done it right there. And I was looking, I'm like, wow, that's a cool wheel. And Jeff's like, you ain't gonna like the 22 inch or 23 or whatever it was. I'm like, wow, Lehman's is like a 19. He goes, yeah, that's about as big as it's gonna
Mine's
get.
a 19.
Yeah, and that's it. And and that wasn't very big. They could have gone bigger. 26, I think, was the biggest. Just
crazy.
They're silly looking, and they just.
I think it's fun to look at. I would never want one.
They're
it's
cool.
fun to look at.
Yeah, I like to put on a lot of miles, and you know that bike's literally maybe the bar and back, and you can't go over any railroad tracks, curbs, speed bump.
They don't turn well.
And if you really want to trick your bike out, you're way better off getting the #1 cell phone motorcycle mount on the market. That's right. The biker gripper guys, we all used them heavily, both for our tunes on the way down and when we send glimpses, and for GPS navigation and everything in between, right up there on your handlebars. If you need a cell phone or GPS motorcycle mounting solution, guys, that's right. Get the biker gripper. It is the sexiest, sleekest, strongest cell phone and GPS motorcycle mount on the market, as I stated. That's right. You can use it to mount your cell phone, GPS device, radar detectors, EFI tuners, toll transponders, and so much more. Tried and tested by the Law Abiding Biker crew for about 1.5 years, and now to Sturgis and back. We believed in it so much, eventually we just stamped our own logo on it. It is available exclusively and only in the Law Abiding Biker store. Head over to lawabidingbiker.com/biker gripper. You can choose from several different models. There's videos over there so that you can understand which one you need, whether it's a control mount, whether it's a handlebar universal mount, whether you want chrome, whether you want black. We've got it, everything in true Law Abiding Biker style right over there in the store for you guys. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/biker gripper or /store. They will both get you basically to the same place and all the same information. Alrighty, let's talk quickly, guys, about day 4. And I believe that was when our first day. Yeah, that's our first day in Sturgis.
Wait, can I back up for just a sec?
Please do. We're going to do that, guys. And we're going to talk about Sturgis. We're going to talk about what Oscar has to talk about. And then we're going to run it out. And then we're going to come back for a second episode of Sturgis 2015. Roll, Oscar.
Sanford's Grub and Pub in Sheridan, Wyoming.
You found it.
Yes, Brenda
his
found
wife
it.
did it. He didn't find it.
No, I didn't. I can't find anything. Sanford's Grub and Pub
Thanks,
in
Brenda.
Sheridan, Wyoming. I'll tell you what, I give them some love. That place was super cool. The wait staff was grade A. The beers were good, and the food was fantastic. Sanford's Grub and Pub.
All right, awesome.
Sheridan, Wyoming. Can't miss it.
And you're going to reach out, get a sponsor for
I'll give them a holler.
And now they're heard in 145 countries, and they just got that for free. That's how we roll here at Law Abiding Biker.
Hey, you know what?
Giving back,
When
giving
something's
back.
that good,
You're right.
we gotta mention them.
I'm just teasing. I don't care. No, good deal. All right, so let's not talk about Full Throttle, because I want to do that in episode 2 when we come back, guys. Let's just finish out here talking about our first day in Sturgis, which was, right, LD, August 2nd, a day before Sturgis officially started.
Sunday the 2nd, yes.
So, all right. So my first time in Sturgis, and I will tell you from that day to the following day, which was the 3rd, because we went into Sturgis. And again, if you guys are going to go to Sturgis, and I don't know what you guys think as advice, but I could not spend 9 days in Sturgis.
No way.
It's cool.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I'm a motorhead, not
I love
as
all
much
the
as
bike
you.
stuff. Oh.
I love the smell. I love the vendors. I love the bars. I love the pasties. I love some of the pasties. Some of the pasties.
Yeah, about 5% of the pasties.
Not the 89-year-old pasties.
So let's just talk about that really quick. So everybody hears that, and that's what I asked a couple people, or a couple people asked me in work and stuff. So how was Sturgis?
Oh, it's out of control.
Fucking crazy, isn't it?
No.
I go, okay. Yeah, okay, thank you. I'll defer to you here. Let me say what I kind of have to say on that, and I think you're thinking the same thing as me. Sturgis is not crazy. It's pretty tame. And I think when it first started, it used to be crazy. And I think that where some of the crazy stuff happens that you can't predict is in some of the campgrounds after hours, because you don't know what people are going to do. I will tell you that Sturgis is awesome, the actual Sturgis event in Sturgis. But it's very, very commercialized. It's very, very tame. You've got doctors, you've got lawyers, you've got cops, you've got dentists. You've got mechanics, you've got every walk of life. And again, just like this podcast, 99% of the people are good law-abiding bikers. They're Jeff, who turns into Sturgis Jeff for the weekend. And although he's a riding fool, he still turns into Sturgis Jeff. And
you know what?
I don't know if he took, did he take Janet around in pasties or not? I think that's the question. Did Janet get in pasties at some point?
Jeff told Lee and I, are you guys coming down or not? This is the night with the Patron later. And I said, why? You trying to find out if Janet can put her pasties on? Does she wear pasties, Jeff? No. Does she wear body paint? No, God damn it. Listen to me.
Oh, dude. I want to thank Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. He was an awesome tour guide. We really enjoyed being there with those guys.
My only complaint was when he would like point at stuff, his rings would blind me. Other than that, it was fine.
Well, and his voice modulates in a tone I can't hear real well. So Janet had to translate quite a bit. So thank you for that, Janet. I appreciate that.
Oh, we can just go on it. I love it. So I will say, with that said, Sturgis itself, there's cops on every corner. They know exactly what they're doing to control that event, and they have it in check. I mean, okay, cool. You got pasties, you got, girls dancing on bars, some of the bartenders and stuff, but still there's no strippers. There's no, that's.
They would get shut down. I mean, that bar.
That's what I'm saying. They have to follow you can't even drink on the street like Vegas. Right. They're very strict about that.
$80 fine. Yeah. It says, take your beer past this point, $80 fine.
And they will nail you.
Yeah.
And so we didn't even, obviously we're not going to try that. It's locked down, guys. It is a lockdown event. So if you're concerned, and I hate to tell people that, although it's cool, I like it that way to a certain extent. If you want to get the wild stuff, like I say, I think you have to go out to Buffalo Chip and Broken Spoke Campground, and because you're going to get, I've stayed on a motorcycle in campgrounds before, and you can't sleep because people do shit till 5 a.m. and they're drunk, and somebody overdoes it, and then then who knows, he's out there riding his motorcycle with his balls hanging out. Okay, I do that sober. But you know what I mean? I honestly did not see anything inside Sturgis that was any wilder that I haven't seen. In fact, other biker events, small biker events, I've seen more crazy wild stuff because it's not regulated yet by, technically the police don't. They've had years and years to get a hold of Sturgis. Now, I bet the first couple of years of Sturgis was what people think of Sturgis, but it's just money and commercialized. But I love it, and it was awesome. And I say that you probably, my opinion, and then I'm going to defer to you and get your thoughts on Sturgis LD, and then we'll go to Oscar, or we can do it the other way around. I say if you're doing a trip, at least me personally, I wanted to spend at least 2 full days in Sturgis. I liked it that much. There's so many vendors to see. It's, 5 blocks this way, 5, 6, 7 blocks the other way. There's different events, and I still didn't see it all, I believe, but I hit what I wanted to hit. And then you find things and you're like, okay, I want to see that, but it's not going on right now. I'm going to hit that tomorrow. I think all in all, I probably spent 2.25 days, and I was satisfied that I had conquered Sturgis itself, besides the rides around, of course. I'm talking just about downtown Sturgis. I felt like I had conquered it, owned it, seen it, can talk about it, that I didn't really miss anything big within Sturgis. So, all right, that's what I say. Awesome, a must do, must on the bucket list. Even if you don't like crowds, I know some people say, I just can't deal with, you know what? It's still, I don't like huge crowds, and it was crowded in its 75th anniversary. If you go on a regular year, it's only about 750,000, they say. But there's plenty for all. And all right, let's go you, Oscar, this time. Let's go around that way.
That was my thought. Totally tame. I love that I just loved all the bike stuff.
Yeah.
We walked up and down Lozelle and Main Street, I don't know how many times, looking at bike stuff, and Jeff kept taking us different places. I'm like, this, and the stuff you can just pull your bike in.
Paradise.
Oh, man.
Let's talk about that.
The Rapid City dealership, and they had 40 acres of vendors.
Yes.
Well, insane.
And they were on 2 different sides of the road.
In two different, maybe 15-acre lots or whatever.
Are you talking about Black Hills?
The one you and I went to where we made the contacts. And then we had to leave because of the rain.
So
when we pulled in there, where we went over by the actual building of the delership was all Harley stuff. There was a whole metric section on the other side of the road that we didn't go to.
See, I didn't even see that. So I want to keep going with that, both of you, to put that in context, what they're talking about. Like I said, in every town has their own. They're ready for Sturgis. 30 miles outside of Sturgis, Rapid City Harley-Davidson, which is
Black Hills,
Black Hills, massive delership.
Yeah.
They have their own event.
Apparently, it's the biggest one in the biggest Harley dealership in the world. To my understanding, someone said that. I don't know if
it was true. Me. I thought that I read that, It would make sense.
Yeah.
But it's got so many acres and they had so many more vendors, and that was 30 miles outside Sturgis. So that puts it in context for everybody. You got to hit that too if you're in Sturgis. There was a lot of vendors that weren't inside Sturgis because booths are cheaper and they can spread out more up there. That's the problem with in Sturgis. Everybody has to, for the most part, unless you're a multi-millionaire and you can afford those properties, they have to dumb down pretty small booths.
Right.
Where in the dealership they can spread their wings, and they had some large booths.
Right.
Well, if you love motorcycles, Sturgis, it was not what I expected. But what was better than I expected was the bike stuff. So I expected to be a party and wild. It wasn't that wild.
Right.
It was, the bike stuff was way more than I expected. I'm like, you could go and get anything done to your bike that you wanted, basically right there. I could have got Olin's shocks put on by the Olin's techs right then and there. I walked in, hey, tell me about those shocks. Yeah, they're great. You want them right now? Well, yeah, I do.
They do a lot of install stuff free at Sturgis.
They do all kinds of install. Some random motorcycle company I never heard of had ground their own cams, and they were doing the cams for $190.
See, I missed that.
With the TTS Master Tuner, I'm like, oh, I got to get cams. I told Brenda, I got to get cams. And she was okay. And then I'm like, I don't need the tuner, so I'm not going to get, it was just, you had to buy the tuner.
Oh, okay.
But even still, the package deal with the tuner and the cams for the price they were selling it was less than half of what you would have paid if I go tomorrow and
That's
put the package
crazy,
together.
huh?
I mean, so that was...
You can ride out of Sturgis.
You could ride out of Sturgis, the new front wheel, new saddlebags. I mean, new everything.
LED light, stereo,
all
speakers.
kinds of amazing shit. And
You could look like a pimp, dude.
I could have looked at the vendors for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Oh, yeah, you could just roll out of there like a pimp daddy, dude. The popo would be all over you trying to stop you in your bling.
Someday I'm going to go back. I'm taking like $4,000 for my bike. And
Are you?
Oh, yeah. And I'm going to get that 24-inch wheel guy.
That's awesome, dude.
We even looked at the toy haulers there and some of the motorhomes and stuff. It's insane. So if you're a gearhead like I am,
Yep.
Sturgis is it. It is the mecca of
If you're
bike
a
stuff.
gear geek, you got to hit it. And yeah, every gear and big names, some of the big names, JMP Cycles, but you had a lot of cool, smaller stuff like you say, which I try to support the smaller guys because they make better crap and they're not so commercialized. You know?
Exactly.
We learned about some new companies, but all right, LD, your turn. What do you say about Sturgis? Any advice, tips, things you like, things you didn't like, things you do different, just specifically inside of Sturgis itself?
I did pretty much like you. I did pretty much everything I wanted to see. I saw some good riding displays over at Harley. I even watched one at Victory.
Yeah, those guys were awesome.
I am going to talk about them in part 2.
They were all amazing riders.
I want to actually give them props, but we'll get to that. Yes.
And then I saw pretty much all the events I wanted to see. It was crowded. It wasn't crazy. I mean, but like you guys said, the vendors, if you wanted to do stuff to your bike, that is the place to do it. Now, I will say this. I think you could go home, get online, and find better prices. They're not giving out screaming Sturgis deals.
I don't know. I think they are.
I talked to Indian John about this today. And Indian John was talking to an exhaust guy, and they were going to sell him this exhaust for like $800. He actually talked to the owner of the company, and the exhaust was $800. He got home, he looked on Google or whatever, and it was like $550.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I go, and so he goes, yeah, they're not doing you any favors because, you're spending the money to be there. They're thinking, oh, we got this guy.
I did find that too.
Yeah,
Depends on who it is.
Yeah, I think you could find some better deals, but...
That's the Sturgis deal is what I started joking about, like the food. Oh, the Sturgis deal.
Yeah, exactly.
But not everybody, but yes.
Right.
Yes.
But aside from that, no, it was...
Be careful.
If you want to do stuff to your bike, and say you don't... I know I want to put X on my bike.
Right.
If you want to go... I want to put a new stereo on my bike. Say, I could go there and look at every stereo vendor for bikes there is,
and
I can make my decision.
And
I could listen. I could turn them up, turn them down. I could turn up the bass, whatever, and then I could get home, get online, see what I could do for a price, install it myself,
and then head to lawabidingbiker.com and get our install videos because we're doing multiple different stereo companies. We did Hog Tunes. We're probably going to do a J&M system here soon. We're going to do the Harley one. We'll get you the tutorial video and save you an assload of money.
Exactly.
Because I talked to a couple of those stereo companies and I can get a better deal.
Sure.
They were saying it was a deal, but it's not really. I'm like, you're still charging labor. But like Oscar said, there was other deals that were like, oh yeah, it's a smoking deal.
Yeah.
So be careful. It may not be a deal.
The only thing I wouldn't mind doing is LEDs on my bike.
Talk to a company, got a contact. I want to bring, oh yeah, that's right. I want to bring a store or some of that to our store eventually.
Yeah, I'm down.
There's just so many of them.
Well,
They're trying to
and
do the
yeah.
research on which is junk and which not, because there's a lot of LED junk out there.
For if you want to do an install, my bike's available.
So's mine.
We will.
No, yours is not.
Shut up. Break your leg.
Everybody wants to be the project bike on that one. I'll probably just do it tall.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
One big.
Perfect.
They're so reasonable now, and especially if you
Yeah.
do the install yourself. So,
It's not hard.
all right. What else about Sturgis? I will say real quick, if you guys are expecting to go to inside Sturgis and see a bunch of naked ladies, hot ladies, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There was a lot of ladies
Yeah.
in
That-
pasties that shouldn't be in pasties, and it's the
Yeah.
typical about nude people. It's always I see the nude people that should not be nude.
Yeah. Right.
The people that I want to see nude are not nude,
right.
and
right.
I don't, and it makes me mad, Oscar. It just makes me mad.
Hey, whoa, I know. Easy.
Driving me nuts.
Easy.
He's
Because
losing, he's losing control. He's not breaking shit.
there's people I want to see naked, and they weren't naked. Pretty gross, some of them. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
And then you got the nasty tweaking ones that are standing on the corner. They're not even part of Sturgis, but they want to charge you to take your picture with them, and
Why
they're
would I do
nasty.
that?
And they're nasty.
Yeah. Why would I do that? I can just stand back and
And-
take your picture if I wanted it.
No, it's
Some of those.
the best
disaster.
people were the girls that were halfway decent were in one-eyed jacks.
Well, they were waitresses. most of
Waitresses,
them.
right?
Yeah.
And they were dancing on the bar, and they were pretty hot.
Yeah.
Real quick, one-eyed jacks. I say you got to go to that. Yeah, that's a fun nightlife, and they do them body shots. Typical biker stuff, but nothing too crazy. Good drinks. I wanted to mention this, that if you haven't been to Sturgis, you got to understand real quick to put it in context, the amount of money that goes into this. And it even still boggles my mind. You have a place like One-Eyed Jack's, guys. This place is like built like a log cabin. It's got a upstairs. It's got a lower level.
It's 3 stories.
Three stories.
stories,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's got a mid-level, and the bars are finished off, and it's got this nice treated wood and big logs and this and that, and it's just beautiful inside. You go in the bathroom, and they've got a guy working in there, and there's colognes out, and there's hand gel, and he's wiping up the fire. I mean, this is like high class.
One other thing there.
Yeah.
There was toothbrushes and
Yes.
shaving cream
Yeah.
for the people that were camping could shave and stuff in that bathroom.
You're right.
It was
And-
a really nice bathroom.
If you talk to that guy,
Oh geez.
God bless him.
Oh geez.
He may not shut up.
He may
I
not
heard
shut up.
this.
And I
Yeah.
was like, hey, you got a kind of crappy job. And then,
Oh, Oscar.
but it was
that's
interesting, poor
yeah.
guy. And but whatever. Good enough.
nice place.
Yeah.
And it's open 3 weeks out of the year.
Done. And
And we're
somebody told
talking-
me that, and I was like, "There's got to be some bars in Sturgis that stay open like this one, because that's how much effing money
Oh, yeah.
that millions. I can only millions and millions they
Well,
make
that
in 3 weeks.
building-
That bar alone.
That building was, I don't know how much would it cost to build that damn thing.
Oh.
$1 million at least.
Oh, the bar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a house. If you're thinking about a house and the chunk of property, that's $5 million, dude.
Yeah,
Easy.
and he's
They
able
have
to,
investors.
He's able to pay for that being open
3
like
weeks.
3 weeks or a month out of the year.
Temp employees,
Yeah.
temporary employees to dance on the
Busting
bar.
them in from all over the country.
Yep. I don't even know how they organize that. Who goes and works for 3 weeks? But I guess people do it.
Carnies.
If
Yeah,
you
right.
If
Yeah.
you watch Full Throttle on TV, they have a big problem with it's a 10-day rally. Day like 7 or 8, girls have made pretty good amount of money. They want to go home.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And
right.
so their last couple days, they're struggling for people.
See, I
So,
wondered about that.
I mean, there's a lot of little things like that.
yeah, that's a behind the scenes. That's awesome stuff. So, One-Eyed Jacks must go. Open 3 weeks out of the year. Awesome bar. What's the one you and Brenda really like? That's the Loud American Roadhouse. I
Yes,
like that.
Yes, it was. That was a neat place. They had really good food.
Jack
and
Daniels sponsored
Yes,
kind of
That
place.
was it. And they
Yep.
had good service, good food.
You can sit up at the window if you can get a window seat. The best
we were
part about
close.
Sturgis is people watching.
Oh, yes.
I sat for 2
By
hours
far.
one time drinking beer, people watching.
Yeah.
The bikes, the freaks, there's a lot of freaks. There's people in Batman suits riding. I got videos of that. Just weird stuff. But okay.
Yeah.
Any other place? I mean, there's lots of places there, guys, but I think those are my top 2. I ate at a lot of places, but I want to throw those 2 out there that hit the Loud American Roadhouse.
We found one at
One-Eyed
the
Jacks.
east end of town. Looked like someone opened a bathroom for drinks.
Right.
No one in there. Service
Oh,
was great.
nice.
The bar was right there, and then the food was fantastic. And
Can't
hey,
remember.
we sat there. There was no one in there. We had music next door we could listen to, but we could still talk because it wasn't that loud, and it was fantastic. It was
right.
a shithole, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah, and like we say, there's places there. Most of that town, guys, literally, there's people that have just bought up properties and they start a pizza shop for 3 weeks. And then you go there now, One-Eyed Jacks, things get boarded up. They just get boarded up for the year. So anyways, before we end the episode, and we'll come back for episode 2, there's a lot of information. Again, we could keep going on about this, guys, but we're trying to hit the high points. And in case you're planning a trip, or if you were there, hopefully you can resonate with a lot of this information and go, yeah, I love One-Eyed Jacks or whatever, kind of deal. Anything else on Sturgis that you guys can think about?
No.
Well, yeah, but we got to stop at some point.
Yeah, exactly. And we got to take it. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. And then we got to take it into the next episode. So before we head out, I think we should also thank these people real quick. Oscar, if you want to do that. These are general donations that we are so appreciative of.
Brian Rogers of Naples, Florida. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, guys.
Gary Hodges, New Orleans, Louisiana. And Lee Taylor of San Antonio, Texas.
Thanks, guys. If you want to get involved, and of course, we love the patrons, lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon, Patron, but you can, if it's in you to just leave a flat donation, that's fine too. We do, of course, appreciate that. lawabidingbiker.com/donate. It also helps put a little fuel in the Law Abiding Biker gas tank so we can keep this thing heading on down the road. And we've had some recent expenses. I'm going to talk about that in the second episode. Some things you guys don't know about. Something got broke last night here in the studio, and then the GoPro incident, which we're going to talk about. And so I've had some very, very unexpected business stuff that I really have to replace now to keep this content coming to you guys. So we appreciate the patrons. We appreciate the donation. Thank you guys, all of you that were just mentioned, for helping make this episode possible. And we appreciate you listening, and we're going to be back with you. Of course, I already told you, we're going to bump this thing into 2 episodes because it's just way too long. I don't mind going a little long, but we're literally at like an hour 20 now, so that's okay. So anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we will be coming back at you with part 2 of Sturgis 2015. Don't forget, guys, get your Law Abiding Biker t-shirt. There's no better time to join the biker revolution. We're being heard all over the world, guys, in 145 countries plus at this time. And last I looked, and yeah, we got a lot to say, guys. We are the 99%ers, the motorcycle majority. So get your t-shirt, guys. It helps support us too. You want to be the coolest looking biker
We're
in
holding
any
hands
event?
a little bit over here.
We were looking the coolest at Sturgis with our lab shirts. I'm not gonna,
Big time.
people were
Rushmore.
asking, man, I did some PR. Get your custom Law Abiding Biker t-shirt now. There's no better time to join the revolution right exclusively in the Law Abiding Biker store. You can head over to lawabidingbiker.com/shirts. It'll get you directly there. Rock your shirt wherever you go. Post your pics to our Facebook page, the Law Abiding Biker Facebook page, and all that stuff, guys. All right. With that said, don't forget about the hotline, 509-731-3548, or a computer voicemail from anywhere in the world for free, lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. Anything else they can do here, Oscar? Anything that you can think of? Call to action?
Rate us in iTunes or Stitcher
Atta
Radio.
boy.
It's like 4-point font. I can't read it.
You guys are terrible, man.
Hey, whoa, yeah.
All right.
Rate us on iTunes or Stitcher Radio.
lawabidingbiker.com/iTunes or /Stitcher Radio. If you can't do anything else, that helps us. Bumps us up in the rankings so more bikers around the world can find us and join the biker revolution. We hope it's been informational. We hope it's been entertaining. We hope it's been
infotaining.
Yeah.
I was going to say entertational.
No,
That's why we don't let you do any of the cute stuff.
I need cue cards or something.
All right, guys, thanks again. And we will catch you on the flip side on part 2 of Sturgis 2015. Law Abiding Biker style. Peace out.